This is your one and only 𝐈𝐸𝐸81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another informational Valheim video. Today, we're going to talk about the most OP magic weapon. Let's get to it. So to fully understand why the magic weapon that I have chosen as being the strongest is the strongest in the game, we got to cover all of the other ones and talk about their pros and cons. So in order to use magic, you have to eat food that gives you eitr. As you can see here, we have the 𝐸𝐽 or whatever you call it, porridge, the tree. You're basically making tree porridge, and then we have the seeker aspect, and we have the stuffed mushroom. All three of these give you varying amounts of eitr, with the seeker aspect giving you the most at 85, followed by 𝐸𝐽𝐴 porridge at 80 and the stuffed mushroom at 75. If we eat all three of these, you only need to eat one to actually get this third bar right here to show up. But if you eat them all, you can see we now have a third bar, and that is our mana bar. So there are only 4 weapons that use this new mana bar, and that is the Staff of Embers, the Staff of Frost, the Dead Razor, and the Staff of Protection. The Staff of Embers is going to cost you 35 eitr every time you use it, and it throws a exploding fireball. This is a really good staff because it has a nice AoE follow-up on it, and it lights things on fire as well, and it deals really good damage. If we spawn in a Seeker here and I hit him, you can see we hit him and he is burning for 21. That is not bad in the initial 36 damage. Burning for 21, not a bad deal for 35 eitr per cast. Next, we have the Staff of Frost. The Staff of Frost is going to cost you 5 eitr, but it only fires a single little bolt. And it is made for shotgunning enemies. You hold it down and you fire, and as long as you hold it down, it continues to fire out in front of you with a decent spread, and ideally this is a mid-ranged weapon. So we got another Seeker here, and if I fire on him, you can see we're doing anywhere from 15 to 22 or so damage, and we slowly tick down his health, and he is slowed as we're shooting on him. But you will also notice that used a lot of our mana in order to bring him down. Next, we have the Dead Razor. So at level 1, the Dead Razor only allows you to raise 1 skeleton. However, if you upgrade it to level 2, you can raise 2 skeletons. It will cost you 100 eitr per summon, so it is relatively expensive to summon these skeletons. I'm going to summon 2 of them real quick. You will also notice that it will cost us some of our health as well. It's 40% of our current health. So you basically can't kill yourself with this. It's just going to lower your health down to the point where you can easily get one shot by most things. You can see here we got 2 melee skeletons. It is possible to raise non-melee skeletons. We'll try again for another. And after a few attempts, you can see here I was able to get an archer skeleton. Last but not least, we have the Staff of Protection. All the Staff of Protection does is it creates a shield around you and your friends. It costs 60 eitr to cast the shield and 40% of your current health. So if I cast it around me and my skeletons, you can see I now have a bubble around me, and so do my skeletons. And it doesn't just shield your skeletons, it will shield any unit that is friendly to you. You can even shield yourself and your locks while you are riding your locks. Now do note that the Staff and the Dead Razor are both blood magic, and the Staff of Frost and the Staff of Embers are elemental magic. If you take a look at my skills, you can see we have blood magic here and elemental magic here. If you take a look at the description on the Staff of Protection, you can see that it creates a magical shield for a given amount of time, and that time is 120 seconds. You can see up there at the top, we have a countdown timer counting down how long the shield lasts for, and it tells you how much damage it's going to absorb. Currently, it will absorb 250, but this is based on your skill level. I do want to quickly mention that when you summon your skeletons, they do not go away. You do not have to have the Dead Razor equipped. You can summon your skeletons and then swap over to anything else that you want to use. They are also not time limited. You summon them and they are pets. You can see that you can pet them and you can also name them if you want to. They will stick around until they die, or you summon another skeleton to override the current 2 that you have. So let's quickly go over their cons. So the Staff of Embers doesn't really have any cons other than the fact that you have to eat food that gives you mana. It doesn't really cost a whole lot, so you could just get away with something as simple as eating some some porridge or just one of these foods followed by a health food and a stamina food and be relatively well-rounded for combat, able to use the staff and get into the fight with some melee action if need be. It also does pretty decent damage, lights the enemies on fire, so it's a really good, well-rounded weapon, and many of you would probably think that I would classify this as the best weapon. However, it's not. Next, we have the Staff of Frost, and this is one of the worst weapons, and the reason for that being the amount of mana that it takes to use this thing for a sustained amount of time. To use this, you're pretty much going to want to eat all of the foods here that give you mana, and you can see that gives you some limited stats. If you take a look at our stats here for our food, we currently have 215 mana, 85 stamina, and 96 health. You're pretty much a glass cannon. While the frost, and I know some people are going to swear by the frost slowing people down or slowing enemies down, is really good, and it is, and you pretty much keep them slowed as long as you hold this on them. If you take a look here at this Seeker Brute, as long as I'm holding this on him, he is pretty much locked in place because he's so slow. He can't even get turned around to attack me, and we've almost killed him, but you can see we ran out of mana before we were actually able to pull the trigger there and kill him. With this staff, you're also going to want to wear the full set of the Eitr Weave, giving you as much mana regen as possible because it's a very mana intensive weapon. Next, we have the Dead Razor. The Dead Razor is fun, but the downside is that your skeletons are relatively weak. They're as weak as you would expect them to be, as weak as all other skeletons are, so you constantly have to be raising new ones, and in some cases, they can't even hold their own in a single fight in order to get off enough hits to actually kill anything substantial, especially in the Mistlands. I would suggest in most cases, you want to just avoid trying to use the Dead Razor for any serious damage. It's good for distracting enemies, and that's about it. But you also have to keep in mind that every time you summon one of these skeletons, it's going to cost you 100 eitr, which means you need to eat at least 2 mana giving foods or eitr giving foods to be able to summon at least one skeleton, and then you have to patiently wait for it to regen to summon another. Now, you can summon these safely inside your base and then go out, but you know, then they're just going to promptly die and you're going to need them again, and yeah, not really good for normal combat situations. They do have their uses, and I'll cover that later. Last but not least, we have the Staff of Protection. The downside to the Staff of Protection is it costs health to use as well as your mana, and it does not have an attack. It is a purely defensive weapon. However, it is the best magic weapon in the game. The reason it is the best magic weapon in the game is simply because if you take a look there, it has a parry bonus of times 20. It has a block armor of 56 currently. The block armor raises depending on your block skill. I've set my block skill to 32 because when I play, my skills seem to hover around 35, 40. So I figured 32 would be a good point of reference for how much damage this thing can parry. So if you do a little bit of quick math, that is 1,120 damage that this thing can parry. It's absolutely insane. It can literally parry anything that is parryable in the game, and I can prove it to you. Here is a level 3 Seeker Brute. I just parried it. Watch, let's do it again. Well, if I can get my parry skills on point here, wait for it. There we go. Parried again. Here's a level 3 Seeker. Just parried it with little to no issue. Well, I failed to parry there. There we go. Parried it again. It's absolutely insane. And I know you're thinking, yeah, but Firespark, that doesn't give me the ability to attack or do anything. But the key to this is playing with friends. If you play with friends and you throw yourself in front of the fight, you can parry anything that is attacking and stop it from attacking your friends. If you are running solo, you summon skeletons in your base until you get, or before you get into a fight somewhere out and about wherever you are, you summon 2 skeletons until you get to archer skeletons. You shield them so that they are somewhat protected, and then you throw yourself in front of whatever you are fighting. Here, I just summoned a level 3 Seeker, and I parry it, and I parry it again, and you can see while it is stunned, they are hitting it and doing decent damage, and they never actually get hit, and they do all of the fighting for you. Now, I will state that this is a very niche situation, and you're probably not going to want to run like this if you're playing solo. So that means for solo players, your most OP weapon is going to be the Staff of Embers, and that is just because it is a very well-rounded magic weapon. It gives you that fire damage, it gives you the AoE, it has decent knockback, it has a decent parry bonus. You can see its parry bonus is times 2 with a block armor of 56, which is going to allow you to easily block 112 damage if you parry with it, and it's just a really good weapon if you're running solo. However, if you are running with friends, this is by far the strongest magic weapon in the game because you can shield your friends and you can put yourself in front of the fight, parry pretty much anything, and allow your friends to absolutely decimate whatever you all are attacking. So I have the Carapace Buckler equipped, and if we attempt to, I can parry these guys with the Carapace Buckler, although you can see 13 damage is getting through, and he is actually staggering me when I go to parry. Let's show you that again. So there we go, 4 damage was getting through. I took a massive amount of stagger there, and I do have a decent amount of health. Now let's compare that to parrying with this. You can see absolutely hardly any stagger damage and little to no damage gets through because the parry bonus on this is so insane. Well, when you can actually manage to parry and you don't fail a bunch like I was doing there. So before we wrap up the video, I want to show you an absolutely insanely easy way you can level your blood magic so that you can block even more damage when you use the Staff of Protection to guard you and your mates. The Staff of Protection only levels your blood magic when the bubble pops. You can sit here and cast it all day long and nothing will actually happen. That bubble has to pop in order for it to level your blood magic. However, you can level your blood magic fast and easy with the Dead Razor because every time these skeletons kill something, you get experience towards your blood magic. It doesn't matter what they kill. So a really easy way to do this is find a spawner, any old spawner will do, take your Staff of Protection and guard your skeletons. I highly advise summoning skeletons until you get to archers, keeping your distance from the spawner just far enough that the spawner will still work and the things that come from it will notice you are there. I advise using Grey Dwarfs because they are super easy for your skeletons to fight. In most cases, your archers will kill them before they get to you and your skeletons, and then you just kind of go AFK and let the skeletons do the thing. Check in on them every now and then to make sure they're not taking any damage, or recast the bubble on them, and that's it. You can level your blood magic super easy. It's just boring. So in conclusion, if you're running with some friends, or even in some solo cases, the Staff of Protection is absolutely insane. The amount of damage that it can block is absolutely nutty, and I highly advise giving it a try. Followed by the Staff of Embers. It's just really good. It's well-rounded, like I stated. Doesn't take a ton of mana to cast it, and it does really decent damage. It's a nice ranged alternative to bows. So let me know what you all think about these choices down there in the comment section. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you already come to this conclusion? I'm eager to hear your all's thoughts, and if you're looking for another awesome Valheim guide, you can find that on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.